Guess how much money Coca-Cola puts into their marketing? Just guess.
$1 million? roughly $1 million. It's something to do with millions.
Far from it. Far from it.
Are you talking about billions?
2.8 billion US dollars.
That's how much they put into their marketing.
Yep. And look at how big Coca-Cola is, but they put billions into it. And look at our friend from corner second and what where's the table there. They put $20 this month and they're like, digital doesn't work.
We talk about Mondays, we talk about new ideas, innovative ideas, and right here in the building I do have a young gentleman with me, and yeah, he is a marketing strategist. He is a business owner, CEO of his company at a very young age. His name is Admire Manyange. Allow me to give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Right, good morning to you, Mr. Manyange. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, Jerry?
I'm great, thank you. So just for interest's sake, how old are you?
Well, I'm 29, turning 30 this year.
Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. So today we want to talk about the power of marketing.
Right.
Because I do understand a lot of people don't understand how marketing plays a huge impact in their businesses.
Right.
So to kick it off, we need to actually define the power of marketing and how do we harness it in our work or our businesses.
Right. Firstly, thank you for having me on the show. It's good to be back home.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, awesome. I think marketing is it's very key and it's very pivotal in not just in business, but in everybody's life. In fact, everybody is a marketer. Before you get out to the people, when you wake up in the morning, the reason why especially women go on the mirror is marketing.
Are you sure about that?
Exactly. Because when you talk about marketing, you're talking about things to do with the brand. You're talking about, and when you talk about brand, this is to do with an entity, the image of an entity. So the reason why I pointed out a woman is, it's not really to say you want a man, no, but it's to say your image, being self-aware, to know that I can't go out there with what my wife calls hojas in Afrikaans. That's mabori in Shona. You can't go out with that. You can't go out with your hair messed up. You can't go out with your beard just messed up. That's brand, that's image, that's marketing. So at the bare minimum, when you're talking to an average person, there are certain things you don't expect yourself to go out there looking like that, because it ruins your image. So coming back to business, these people separate the two, but I normally want to put it together because, it's like, I normally want to give examples that people can relate with. It's like dating a lady. You cannot just walk up to a woman and be like, hello, how are you? My name's Admire. What's your name? My name is Cherry. Cherry, I would love to marry you today. There are guys that do that, but it's crazy. I want to marry you today. Here's the cows. They're right there. Let's go right now, do lobola, get married, and let's have kids. And it doesn't work like that. You got to know a person. There's a process. And so marketing, people think they know marketing, but there's a whole lot of things they don't know. And I think personally, as I close off, to just maybe shed more light on the power of marketing, like you're saying, a study was carried out with a website called Statistica. They look at big companies to show you the budgets that they put in marketing. Guess how much money? Okay, let me just let you guess. Guess how much money Coca-Cola puts into their marketing? Just guess.
$1 million? roughly $1 million. It's something to do with millions.
Far from it.
Are you talking about billions?
2.8 billion US dollars.
That's how much they put into their marketing.
Yep. And look at how big Coca-Cola is, but they put billions into it. And look at our friend from corner second and what who has a table there. They put $20 this month and they're like, digital doesn't work. But Coca-Cola, who is bigger than you, they pour in billions. That's how much important and that's how powerful marketing is.
Right. So, a lot of people confuse marketing and advertising. But firstly, we need to know, is there really a difference between advertising and marketing?
Well, it's more like marketing is the mother of everything. And advertising is part of it. It's inside of it. They're inseparable, but they're slightly different because marketing is bigger. You know, so because advertising is part of marketing, but marketing has other attributes. For instance, you need to study customer behavior and things like that. They are all into it because you can't make an advert when you don't know the customer behavior. And there's also things like strategies, like the marketing plan and things like that. A marketing plan is not necessarily an advertisement, but it's something that precedes an advertisement because you can't make an advert when you don't know what strategy you're trying to employ, because an ad it's like a later stage. In our marketing plans, we've got what we call a 6M that I use. In the 5th stage, which we call the media, literally there are 6 M's. In the 6M, that's where we start doing adverts. Okay, right. So, but before you get there, the very first step is the mission. You need to understand, okay, what exactly are we trying to achieve? What's the goal, the long term, the short term? And you need to understand who's the target audience. Many people fail even in advertising because the ads that they run, sometimes they run very good ads, but they're running into the wrong audience.
All right, like let's say for example, with a business app, right, and then you put it on Facebook, but your audience, they're not really familiar. They don't want to buy from you, but so you need a greater audience, the audience that is interested in your product.
Exactly. That's where market research comes into play. And market research is not an advertisement. So research precedes that. And a lot of people, especially our black people, our Zimbabwean, we don't like a research. We just like, so and so, what are you doing? I'm selling potatoes. Okay, how are you selling? I just posted on Facebook and then I'm doing business. But then it's not just that. There's a lot of other things pertaining to that. One other thing is, okay, I'll walk you through our 6M. The second M is the model. I told you about the mission. This is where you're looking at the long term and short term. The second one is model. This is how you're providing your service.
They call it the 6 M's.
Yeah, 6
of
M's.
Marketing.
Exactly.
All right.
So we basically came up with that blueprint. You won't find it anywhere else. So the first M is mission. The second M is model. The third is market. The fourth one is message. The fifth one is media. And the last one is moment. And that one is our silver bullet. You won't find it anywhere else. If you find someone who does that, I'll take it.
We're gonna have our moments.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So in the second one, the model, I wanted to say something that you need to know, how are you providing your service or products, and how are you providing it differently. In marketing, they call those unique selling points. If we all selling potatoes, the one who gets to sell more has to have something unique. You might believe this or not, but putting anointing oil might be someone's unique selling point. If it works, well, it's working for you. But I really want to make sure that in every entrepreneur, I always advise this, that have something. I'm trying to break it down into simple layman language. Have something you're doing which is different from anyone. Like, for example, I'm telling you about our 6M. We've got the moment. We'll get to that in a minute. Most entrepreneurs or most digital marketers don't even know what a moment is, but we created it. That's our top silver bullet. So you need to be different. How are you doing it differently? I'll tell you something. The reason why almost every African black president owns, just pick the guess, what do they own in terms of cars? Almost every head of state in Africa. Which car do they own?
A Mercedes.
Exactly. Why do they own a Mercedes? Is Mercedes the most expensive car on the planet?
No.
But why do they all own it?
Brand, marketing.
Because Mercedes-Benz is managed to not just sell a car, They sell status. So if you are out there, you're selling a phone, you're selling jackets, you're selling whatever service you're doing, if you're not selling beyond the product or the service, you're going to be at the bottom of the food chain. The most successful brands on the planet don't sell the product they're selling. Now, I own an iPhone. These people don't sell phones.
They sell the product.
They sell you innovation. So you can see when you look at it, it's like anybody who owns an iPhone, most of them, they're more like into tech. If you check, they're into media, they sell creativity, they sell innovation, much like Tesla. Tesla doesn't sell EVs. They're selling you the future, they're selling you innovation, they're selling you technology. There's so many EVs that are out there. In fact, China is producing or has produced more EVs, even more than Tesla. But on the planet, when you ask anyone about electrical vehicles, people just know about Tesla. As if Tesla is the one that's producing more. Arguably, they might not even be the first company that started EVs, but well, they're the most popular. Because they sell beyond the product. That's model. So a lot of people don't sit down. And the other flip side of model is your sales system. I've done marketing for a lot of entrepreneurs, I think over 2,000 right now, and majority of them in Zimbabwe don't have a sales system. And if things don't work out and they don't close in on sales, it's marketing. And yet there's a clear, distinct difference between marketing and sales. Marketing, we are drawing people to have an interest in your product and service. Sales is taking those people that are called lead customers into paying customers. So if you don't have a system of converting them, now that's sales. You will get lead customers, 5,000 of them, 200 of them, but you fail to close because you don't have a system, a sales system. That's model. It's all part of the model. And then we move on to the third M, which is market. Now, market, you're looking at who's your target audience. You segment them. A lot of people know this. Up market, middle market, low market. When you're talking to an up market, they don't care about price. That type of people, if you tell them I'm going to discount you with 5%, they'll look at you and say, you think I can't afford that? It's an insult. To go to Strive, my CEO, and tell him, Strive, I'm an app developer, but I want to give you a 10% discount. That's an insult because he is probably in the top 5 billionaires. So when you talk to people that are in that category, that's up market, they don't want to hear about saving money. They want to hear about exclusivity. If you want to win him, tell him, Mr. Strive, I've got an app I'm developing. It's a limited edition. It has never been given to anyone. You're the very first person I'm pitching to. He likes it. It's exclusive to him.
You know what? Even creating a product,
Right.
People generally, all of us, we don't like kuti chinhu one. Let's say iri hembe.
Right.
Una chakapfekwa na Jenny, una yakapfekwa na unomutengesera kuti ndiyo yega iripo, ndiyo yega yasara. And with that, I believe someone out there will say, no, so let me buy it.
Right. And the people that are so obsessed with that are people in the up market. People in the middle market now are funny. They like a combination of up market and low market. So they want something that's not too popular, but it should be cheap. So they're the type that will go and buy a fake Gucci. They're the type that, because they want to put pressure, they call it pressure. I learned that term when I got back to home. It's very education, to pay pressure. So they want the nice stuff, but at an affordable rate. That's medium now. And that's, I think, the bulk and the big number. Because go up market up now, majority of even those that drive those Mercedes, we are only medium. I always say there's upper medium and lower medium. The upper medium is that one that can afford to buy you all lunch and everything, and then cry when they get home. That's the upper.
And eating a lunch,
Yeah.
And then
They'll be like, hey, I messed up. Hey.
then
Things are not. Yeah, they're now broke. Then there's the lower medium, that one that is not that doesn't feel shy to go and buy a Mbero and whatever. That's medium. And then you get the low market. That one is like, you know what? Mina, I'm not even going into town. I don't buy my clothes in a shop. I just go. Okay, do. I want $1 for 20. That's low market. So understanding that helps, because you won't send the wrong message, which is the next M, which is message. You will not send a wrong message to a wrong segment. So when you understand the segmentations, even when you're now doing advertising, you now know that this market requires this language. That's messaging now. And again, on the market, there are 3 things I wanted to add on before I move on to message. You need to understand demographics, geographics, and psychographics. Demographics is the age, the gender, the income, but okay, this type of person, what is that? Who am I targeting there? And then on the geographics, you're looking at which city, which suburb, which country, which continent, which region. You need to understand that. Because if you are selling cereal in Zimbabwe, it's pointless to go and hire a guy who has 70% of his followers. Okay, let me touch a bit on that. A lot of people are now in this thing, brand ambassador, whatnot. I always laugh with that, because people don't take time to analyze the audience that the person they're employing has. A friend of mine by the name Tatenda Gurupira, he's a famous musician. He's known. He doesn't like the word famous. He's a very humble man, but he is famous. He's really good. He runs, he's one of the directors of FIG. He once disclosed his audience at some point. And I think at that point he had about 60 or 70% of his followers from the Filipinos. And I think it like 40 or 50,000 followers. Imagine asking Tatenda to post on his page. You might say yes, and you might even pay him. He has got 60, 65% or 70% of his followers from the Filipinos. You, my friend, are selling sneakers in George Sulundika and Second or whatever it is you're selling here, or you're in Main Street in Mutare here. Utengesa mateke ako.
Akutengesere munani audience iri kuma Philippines uko.
It's not going to work. And the next thing people say, digital marketing, we tried it. They're all fake. And you know also what happens? The so-called celebrities who have 1 million followers and whatever, who say we can market for you, don't know that information too. They're not certified marketers like us. So they'll be coming to you and saying, I've got 1 million followers, I can market for you. It's not about 1 million. Is this the 1 million which fits in my own marketing audience? Because if it doesn't fit, it's a complete wastage of money. Because I'm busy going to show my things to people that can never buy my products, even if they wanted to. How can a person in the Philippines come to Zimbabwe to buy sneakers? It doesn't work like that. Unless those sneakers are some kind of exclusive
magic sneakers. Magic money
which is worth buying and coming. And then the last attribute I told you about is the psychographical details. This is the belief system. This is the mind. Whenever they are talking about football, there's a very good reason why they put a castle lager. I'm not a fan of drinking. I'm not supporting it.
Right. Let's minimize on the brand.
Of course, yes. So, but my point is, there's a reason why they put alcohol next to something to do with football.
Yeah.
Because it's something that's got a psychographical relationship. So in the same manner, you must identify your business. What goes along with what I do?
No, I'll put in your
Exactly.
Right. So, whenever you're advertising your business, psychographics master.
Yes.
The reason why we have alcohol is because
Exactly. Movies, popcorn. It's as simple as that. If you do, you need to do your research.
There's a guy who told me, he was like, you know what? If you're going to have a car wash,
Right.
have somewhere to eat where
Interesting.
people can hang.
Yes.
It's not because of but it's because of the audience. At the same time,
Exactly. Exactly. So understanding that will help you. You'll be a step further. And people think, you know how black people are? They'll be like, I think this guy's using juju. No. the person studied the characteristics of his customers, and he put all those things there. And people just are naturally drawn there because they like it. And when you're done doing that, you move on to the messaging. But like I said, that's the fourth M. And messaging, because of what I've just said, it's self-explanatory because you know what to say to the right person. You might have a right product, but a wrong message, sending it to the wrong audience. Or you might have a wrong product with the right message, with the right audience. Those three have to really be like in sync. Now, the fifth M is what everyone, or over 90% think with this is marketing. It's the media. We're now looking into which media platform should you be on. So when customers are talking to me, I always tell them this, that look, I'm not a fan of be on Facebook, be on TikTok, be on YouTube. I'm not trying, it's not a get rich scheme, whatever. I'm not trying to like solicit funds from you. It's based on the mission you have, the product you have. It's based on the market and the targeted audience you want to target, and the message that we have. All those will tell us which media platform should you be on. For instance, if you sell shoes, jackets, and whatever, right? You're selling directly to customers. We call that a B2C business. That's business to customer. So which means you need to be on a B2C platform, like your Facebook, like your TikTok, like your IG. Now, that's a first characteristic. If what you're selling, let's say it's the kind of shoes that are too fancy, that are good for maybe the amateur case, then you might want to lean more on the TikTok kind of thing, because that's where you find majority of the amateur case. I've got my young brother, he's a 2K. You know, I was laughing at him one time. He did not even have a Facebook account, believe it or not. I'm the one who made him create one, which means creating a Facebook is not the most ideal thing if you're targeting these youngsters, because they don't really like Facebook. So it's very important to then understand that that's in media now. Which media platform is good for my business? Whichever is not good, don't be there. Don't go there. And then you need now to understand which media copy should you create. Which media copy? When you talk about media copy, I'm talking about the media content. Should it be a flyer, a GIF, a video, voice? What's really ideal for my business? I'm sure you told me to talk about brands, but am I free to talk about taglines?
All right. 4 minutes before 10 o'clock, only 4 minutes left on the clock. And yeah, we are talking about the 6 M's. I feel like we need to have a part 2. We definitely need to have a part 2, because there's so many things that we didn't touch on. There's so many things that we didn't tackle pertaining to marketing. So we definitely need to have a part 2. But yeah, fine. You can talk about tagline.
Okay. So, I mean, there's a reason why you hear something like, it all comes together with the...
Yes.
So that's brand voice. It's all part of media. Because they have they've identified that, okay, we want our brand to have this brand voice, this deep masculine voice that goes with it. You know? So this is where all of this is identified. So if it's also maybe I used to listen a lot, when I figured that, I think I was into marketing from growing up. The way I was so fond with jingles and everything, there's this one again. It starts with the name of the company, but I'll do the last part where it says, "Where your money buys you more." I've always wanted, and so that's brand voice. They do that deliberately. If you hear a light voice of a female, or if you hear like a medium kind of tone-ish.
We're talking about soap. They use females. They use the feminine voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's brand voice. So it's all in the media now. You have to then define what your brand is, the feel of what you want it to come now. That's media copy. You have to be deliberate. And then you go to touch things like colors as well. They are part of it. We call those color palettes. And then you go into typography. That's the fonts. All of this is communicating with the person. That's in media now. When you're done with the media, you move on to the moment. Now, this one, if you find any digital marketing that's doing this, call me. I'll take you anywhere you want to eat lunch. I'll pay it, even if it means flying. That's how much I'm sure no one is doing this.
Right. So we only left with a minute on the clock. Let's talk about the last M.
Interesting. So the moment is basically a blueprint of how you convert lead clients to paying customers.
Number 1,
Mission.
mission. Number 2,
Model.
model. Number 3,
Market.
market. Number 4,
Message.
5,
Media.
6,
The moment.
the moment.
Right.
You know what? It was lovely having you here, Mr. Admire Manyange. But
you.
before you go, probably there's someone who just wants to continue the conversation over the phone and say, you know what, Mr. Manyange,
Right. Right.
your contact details.
0788 696 540 is the contact. If they want to email us, it's orders, which is ORDERS at admediaint.com.
All right, I will thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Hopefully next week we'll have you and we get to dwell more on Nyaye marketing.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being on Diamond FM.
Have yourself a lovely one.
All right, you too.